Hi, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I'm Farron. This is,
Elisa.
and let's get right into it. Season 15, episode 4 of Atlanta Housewives. Let me just
Mhm.
start out by saying I'm not feeling this season. I'm not feeling. I think it's going to be a boring season. I think it's made up drama, and I'm not feeling the new person. I'm just not feeling any of the storylines. Boring so far, and it's episode 4.
What do you think about Manetta and the new Courtney and new what's her name? Courtney.
I'm not a fan of Courtney. Sounds like a chihuahua. She's looking to make a scene. Candy gave her too much attention last time.
Hmm
Manietta, a friend of the show.
I think Manetta's trying though. Like I think she's trying to make a name for herself this time around.
Hi, Joanne. I don't know. I haven't seen anything happen with Manietta yet, unless I missed it.
No, she was like she almost got into it with Marlo, and Marlo kind of just paid her dust and was like, "Next, I need the big fish, Candy. I want to go in on Candy." She kind of ignored Manetta, but we'll get into that.
So I don't remember. That's how much I don't remember. Okay, so it started out with Kenya and Manietta dancing because Candace's gonna go to where is she going? Alabama to some
Yeah,
team. Um, Kenya can't dance, so there was nothing there. Boring scene, filler. This was a
yeah.
filler episode. This was definitely a filler episode.
I
Leading to
definitely zoomed in on her balloon booty.
a boy
Did
looks
you?
terrible.
I had to zoom. I didn't zoom in. I slow motion. I was like, "Am I seeing things?" Like she should have got a little bit of hips, or it should have been a little bump. Like you can't be that slender and just have and insert a balloon on. Maybe she got injections because I think there's a difference between injections and a BBL.
Whatever it is, it looks terrible.
I'm just trying to give a reason as to like, yeah. But now at the time, but it's too long that she had all like it should have been fixed. Like Nicki Minaj, I think all of them like do tweaks.
It looks like a P. So with Kenya, she's because I was watching an old episode of Martin, one of my favorite sitcoms back in what was it in the 90s, and she was model-esque, meaning she had a nice shape, nice legs, she had boobs. Yeah, she didn't have a big behind, but she had the physique of a model,
Yeah.
just like Naomi Campbell. So seeing her now, looking at her videos back in the day, I remember when she won Miss, what is it, Miss USA, Miss America. Still nice shape. I remember the first time I saw it was, I think it was a King magazine or something, and that's when she initially got the butt shot. And I was like, this is Kenya, Miss USA or whatever. So when I looked at it now, it looks terrible because she's not hippie. She doesn't have much thigh. She doesn't have anything really. So to take that much, whatever she injections or meat or implants and put it there, it looks terrible. And if it looks terrible with clothes, it looks worse without clothes.
And it's been too many years for her to be still having it looking like that. That's the thing that amazes me. Like I'm looking for some scenes and shots where it looks like, oh, this looks nice. Like she got it tweaked and she fixed it. But every year I'm looking at the same balloon booty.
Yeah, worse. And she don't even believe it's real. But we'll keep talking about. But how could she fix it?
You can go to a surgeon. There's so many surgeons that do fix it or whatever you call it. It's a name for it. That when they fix it, when they fix botched surgeries.
Reconstruct her
Yes, yes, girl, you know about it. Let me find out.
No, well, not yet. I don't mix with that stuff because I'm afraid that you get adverse reaction. Look what happened to DC Young Fly.
I know.
Supposedly, allegedly, it was cosmetic mommy makeover. So
Yeah.
Risk injecting false products. I call them products or chemicals or whatever into your butt. And eventually that's going to change because you're sitting on your ass all the time.
Exactly. And what happens when you 80, 90? We don't even have enough scientific evidence for people that have had it for a century. This is new on the market.
And it's going to probably sink. But it looks terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Marlo had a butt job.
Hers look good, though. It don't look like a balloon booty.
That's what I'm saying. Hers look good. Sheree is questionable. I have to say, Sheree, I'm questioning it, but it looks great.
Sheree got some work done. I'm sorry. She looks great because I think she works out.
but she works out and she has the thighs to carry the boutique. That's
Mm-hmm.
you have to have the thighs to carry the butt. Kenya does not. So no. So then they went to well, right there, Kenya's talk about she's dating Roy. It looks like it's some white man she's dating.
Yeah, from
I
Summer House or Summer, one of those. What is he? Oh no, he's, I don't know who he is.
don't know who he is either. But she mentioned that he's good in bed, which again, we'll get on to Sheree. Why we need to know that? And then when these men get all these women throwing their panties at them and they cheat on your behind, you wonder why nobody needs to know your man's good in bed. That is you.
Yeah.
Man, like, hello, I don't like when women do that, but she wanted everybody to know she getting some good.
Yeah, maybe she wanted people to know, like, look at here, Mark. Look what you lost. I'm getting it in. This, I'm, brushing off the dust and getting it in.
Nobody needed to know that. If you with them, obviously he's doing something right.
Yeah, but I think that was a message, a subliminal message for Mark.
True. Then they went to Sonya and her family. I don't know if I
no,
like
but we
Sonya
forgot about the part when Kenya talked about her hair care products, and didn't they want to honor her or something like that in the beginning?
Oh, I didn't care about that. But what about it? I didn't really care.
Well, I think what I took from it is like Marlo's gonna have like a marching band. Like I took from it, and Candy's commercial, the KFC commercial. Then Kenya having the marching band. I was just took notes that all of these women are making money off of, like, I kind of have a soft spot for Marlo, and I just feel like Marlo gave them these little like things that boosted their business, branded their business, helped brand their business, like a marching band. Candy got a KFC commercial off of Marlo's back and bringing a bucket of KFC onto the flight to have an olive branch for Candy.
Well, Marlo didn't have anything to do with that.
She did.
No, Marlo had an event and Kenya had the marching band. That had nothing to do with Marlo. It was just Marlo's event.
No, wait, what?
Marlo's event.
And no, I know, but I mean, it was, but I'm just saying the marching band coming in, that was directed toward, it was
Marlo.
Kenya's idea. Yeah, it was Kenya's idea, but I just feel like it was still, Marlo was in that mix of like something else that came about it later on that is helping out Kenya's business. That marching band, like that is the Kenya Moore hair care, even though it was Kenya's idea. But I'm just saying, I just feel like poor Marlo isn't able to monetize any of these things that all these other women are monetizing off of.
Well, that's her fault. And Candy with the KFC is tacky to me. That's my
opinion. She got the bag from KFC.
I know. I was like, what is Candy doing? I don't know. I don't like KFC anyway. She should have done Popeyes.
And why she's getting the commercial and not Marlo, who had the bucket of chicken?
Because Candy's the biggest star.
I would feel a little ways. That would make me feel a little. I know Candy's bigger.
Candy's also bigger, but I don't understand why they pick Candy, because Candy became friends with Marlo based on chicken. Because Candy was the one that went to Marlo and asked, okay, can I have some of a piece of chicken and let's just squash the beef. So she loved chicken so much that she put up pride to the side. So this is why I think they used Candy, and Candy has the marketing. And then now her son, he's on YouTube. They got a little fan base, and they chicken.
True, but I just feel for Marlo because it's like, dang, like she's the one who had the bucket of chicken, who's the one who patronized KFC to give it, to try to extend the olive branch to Candy. And it's like Candy's getting the bag. Like, that
would piss me off with
that. And I think that's where her resentment is coming from. That's why I think Marlo's just going in on Candy. I think she feels some envy, maybe jealousy. Why she got to get the KFC commercial? I had the bucket of chicken. I brought you the bucket of chicken. I paid for the bucket of chicken. So I don't know.
I agree. That one, yes. The old Kenya Moore care with the marching band, no. But that one, now that you talk about it, Marlo should be the one to have been recognized and be the spokesperson of chicken.
She paid for the chicken.
Yeah, and chicken in Jamaica is a big deal. I went to Jamaica about 2 weeks ago, and people were carrying buckets of KFC chickens on the airport. I
I
didn't know
know.
that's such a big deal. I didn't even taste the chicken, but
I
I
tasted it when because they said the same thing about Trinidad KFC, and I didn't see the difference. It was the same KFC chicken to me. It wasn't a big deal. To
you
me,
took
it wasn't a big.
it too?
I didn't try Jamaica because I was so turned. Like I would nothing like the big deal they were making about the Trinidad KFC. It didn't like make a difference to me, so I didn't even try to see what they was talking about the Jamaican KFC. I just was like, whatever.
Well, I haven't eaten KFC in over 10 years,
Me too.
and I don't plan on eating. But kudos to Candy eating that unhealthy piece of chicken, which I don't think she really eats it. She just, promotes it.
Yeah.
So then they went to Sonya and her family. I don't know if I like her family. I don't know if I don't like her family. I don't know if I like Sonya. I'm just happy they have a Jamaican on there, somebody in Caribbean who represents their culture. I don't know if I like Sonya. However, there is, stuff happened with her family, with her sister. Sonya seems to be very demanding, bossing her brother around. And, there was discussions that Ross wants to just let it be them living in the house where Sonya mother family leaves so they could have their time together, which makes sense. All them damn people in that house. I mean, I don't know how big that house is, but there's a lot of people in that one house.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying to continue what you were saying, I'm just not interested in that type of storyline. Like, I don't know. I feel like they need to focus more on Ross because he's a cutie. And I want to hear about more of their marriage, the trying to get a baby, how's he feeling. I'm really not interested in the family dynamics and all these people living there. I'm not interested.
It's getting to a point where I've watched Housewives, other reality TV shows. After a while, I was like, what storyline is going to be of interest? I feel like a lot of the storylines, whether it be Atlanta Housewives, New Jersey, whatever, it's so repetitive. It's just whether or not you like the people. And Atlanta Housewife, I no longer have a favorite. There's certain shows you watch and you have someone you actually like watching.
Yeah.
They don't have a storyline. When they come on screen, they're going to say something that makes you laugh. Like Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. She doesn't really have much of a storyline, but when she's in a scene in quad, they're going to bring something.
Exactly. Personality. They're going to bring.
That's what I would look at, personality. So now with Atlanta Housewives, I don't feel there's none of that. Kenya for little digs here and there. Marlo, but there's lack of personality to draw my attention on.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just watching to commentate. I'm watching to watch, but there's no oomph. There's nothing like, oh, I can't wait. And I guess for some of the fashions.
Yeah.
Not much. Then it was Marla and her nephew and her annual photo shoot. Now, I don't know why she wouldn't do that, but hey, that's her thing. So this is where I was. Well, we'll get into that. But Marlo talked about getting her charge expunged, and that Courtney all of a sudden is helping her. That new chick, she's helping her with these cases because Marlo wants to be able to use firearms because she was, I guess, someone burglarized or somebody came in her house. These men. Allegedly.
Exactly.
Came into a home, so now she want to own guns, which is understandable. But hey, you did the crime, then you got to deal with the consequences.
Exactly, and then you got to do what you got to do. Go through the hoops, the whatever red tape they got up, whatever. We all got to do it to try to get what we want and get ahead in life.
So one of the things is with you wanting to get your case expunged, Marla's behavior on Atlanta Housewives. If the courts or judge or whoever's looking at these cases decides to look at these shows, her behavior is not that great on these shows. I don't know. They're looking at.
I don't know. I think she's bringing it. I don't think it's a show, so I don't think a judge would put too much weight on it because the more theatrics they bring onto the show, the more money and the more they substantiate their existence. So I don't think if I was Marlo, I would let the judge know, like, listen, don't hold this against me. I'm trying to get this bag and I need to bring it. And this is what people are talking about. They ain't talking about all these other like lame people. They're not talking about Sonya, Drew. They're talking about Marlo these first couple of episodes.
Well, she would have, or maybe have the producers lie or say, this is somewhat scripted or whatever, because looking at that, her behavior is still aggressive and confrontational.
It's for the show. I would say, listen, this is for the show. I'm faking it. I'm bringing more to make to substantiate myself, to keep the money. This is what the audience loves. We
We'll
love a
see.
villain.
We'll see. So she went on and to speak about what her issue is with Candy. Well, one of her issues with Candy, about her nephew who was working with Candy, got shot outside of the restaurant in Old Lady Gang, and that Candy did not acknowledge. Now, I think I heard about this story years ago. I heard about the shooting Old Lady Gang. I don't recall it was Marlo's nephew, but this is the issue that Marlo has with Candy, because Candy did acknowledge her nephew's death, who worked for her. And if that Candy did that, that is definitely wrong.
No, that's not wrong.
Huh?
What's wrong about that?
Are you not? You have someone who worked for you,
and he died 2 years later or whatever. No, she's juggling. Listen, Candy is worldwide. She don't got time to be trying to reach out to these associates, because Marlo.
That was Marlo's nephew.
Marlo is not Candy's top friend. She is an associate. She's not a top friend of Candy. They are not on friendly terms. They are co-workers. I don't got time. Yeah, but if you're a co-worker, you think I'm thinking about that? Like, listen, and especially if he worked for me years ago, and you tell me, what are you expecting? Marlo's just like,
so let's get this straight. When he died, was he still working Old Lady Gang?
No.
Oh, I thought he got killed while working in Old Lady Gang.
No, you remember, if you watch the text like that they showed as proof, and they edited the text in, Marlo texted Candy and said, did so-and-so ever work for you? And then Candy responded, yeah, he used to work for me, but he no longer works there. So then Candy, which I watch her after show, what is it called? Candy. Yes, Candy said it was about,
Speak on it.
Yes, on Speak on It and on the show, she clarified it that it was like a year or two ago he worked, and he didn't even work that long. Like, he used to work there, and Marlo was looking for maybe Candy to say something, do something. I don't know, but the way Marlo texted her and was like, did so-and-so used to work for you before? Candy said yes. She said, yeah, he used to. Then Marlo said, oh, he got killed over the weekend by his roommate. Candy said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What more do you need?
I thought he was actually there. I mean,
no, he used to work there.
Acknowledge her, but I mean, I don't know if she expected. I think, did she mention that Candy should have gave her flowers, or whatever? I just feel like, I mean, some acknowledgement. If she said, "I'm sorry to hear that you are co-workers," I don't know what else she expected.
That's it. You getting a sorry.
Okay, so then I understand. I thought she got shot somewhere around Old Lady Gang.
No, and then when when he was killed, that happened also like 2 years ago. Like, he worked there, say like 2-3 years ago. He got killed, say before the last season happened. Why is Marlo digging his story up when the nephew got killed 2 years ago?
Okay, so now that's making I knew it was.
I feel like she's going for Candy. She's going for the top dog, and I get her reasons, but I feel like she's picking on Candy. And if I were Candy, I would I like to see somebody who levels the playing field. Like Candy said, when you go low, I go lower, and I want to see it. Like, I think Candy needs to bring it a little bit more. Like, stop trying to hide around, not talking about the shooting. I know it's legal issues going on, but you need to dig into Marlo too. You need to do something.
Yeah, come with Marlo the same energy he came with Courtney.
Exactly.
Okay, so now that makes more sense. So then they showed Sheree at the doctor's office talking about fibroids. I mean, that was a good medical education for people watching.
That's true. Maybe because thank God I haven't had issues with that. So maybe that's why it was boring to me. But I guess like you're saying, if you did have that issue or suffering with that issue now, it is like some education.
All the time women get tested on it. This was spoken about with Giselle and Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is happening to Black women. I watch Love and Hip Hop. I know Shay Jackson. That was something she went through with fibroids. She's like a big advocate of that. So it is prominent in the Black community. So the one thing that they did mention on this show, where other shows don't really talk about fibroids, like, oh, how long you're not gonna have sex, how long you gonna be out of commission. They kind of gave her some, warning of when you have the surgery, what's gonna happen. If should you take out your ovaries, or if you do take out your ovaries,
Yeah.
what happen when you do. So Sheree seemed like and I would say a lot of Black women, when it comes to surgeries and certain things, like, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have time. They put money, everything else before their health until it gets really bad. So I thought that was stupid of her trying to push it back. And it seemed like she was also concerned about Montel, her new boo. Hey, Montel. She also mentioned that, he got big D energy. He's really good in bed. And that, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to have sex with Montel, Lord forbid. So I thought that was pretty, it's a factor, but also it was very ignorant and stupid of her to put your health secondary to pleasing this man, and also because you have work and stuff. So that's, that was that scene. And I don't know if you watched Love and Marriage Huntsville.
No, I've been meaning to, because it's like the talk of the town. Like, I see a lot of social media commenting about that.
I started watching it when I found out Sheree and Montel was dating. And I was like, oh, who's this Montel? Who's a good looking guy? And I watched it. So I've watched all the seasons, been to watch. I'm in the current season. And some people may come after me. I actually like Montel. Yes, he cheated on his wife.
For her? Like, he's a cheater. It just seems like, did he have a side baby?
I like Montel. I like him. I'm not too fond of the wife. A lot of women be probably upset with me. He did cheat on his wife and got the side chick pregnant.
See, that's when you done put the nail in the coffin, when you have a side baby.
He had a side baby. The wife knew he was cheating. Not only that, she was pregnant too.
That's the worst kind of cheating.
She was pregnant. And, the side chick got a baby after her. They're not that far apart. I don't even know if they're years apart. No, they might be like a year apart. Hurt the two. But I like Montel, and I think the reason why I do like him, because he is a great dad. I think that's what I separate him being a great dad.
Okay, but what that got to do with being in a relationship with that man? He ain't a good man to be in a relationship with.
I know, I like him. I'm not in a relationship with him, but I like him because he's a great dad. I'm separating.
Okay, got it.
With him being not a good relationship. He was cheating on her. She still was having unprotected sex with him and got pregnant. That's your business. And Joe, because I'm sure he's with him. Listen, I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater.
Exactly.
I don't believe it, because if you watch the show, I could see why he cheated on his wife.
Oh, see, I don't watch it. I just see the comments. And having a side baby, to me, that's all I needed to know. That's the only intel I need to know, is you have a side baby. That means that you are on a different level of cheating.
He's on a level of cheating, but watching the show, I don't like the wife. There's something about her that's very fake.
Are you saying that she deserves, like?
No, I won't say nobody deserves cheating. Don't try to put words in my mouth. I don't say she deserves to be cheated on. I say I understand why he probably did. Not probably did cheat on her. I see why he did cheat on her. And if she cheated on him, I would say the same thing. I see why Melanie cheated on him.
Okay.
Based on their relationship, I could see why he cheated on her.
Okay. I gotta watch it.
It seemed like it was about sex. It wasn't that her personality, I don't feel, even now that they're divorced, I don't like her personality. But again, this is not the show we're talking about. We're talking about Atlanta Housewives. But Sheree and Montel, they look good together. And that doesn't mean he's going to cheat on Sheree.
Oh, please. Once a cheater, I don't know.
Always a cheater, because Sheree's personality is different than the wife's personality. Sheree looks like she could be a little bit more subservient to her man. Sheree looks like she's doing his thing, supportive. There's a difference in personality. And Montel even spoke very highly of Sheree. That doesn't mean he's going to cheat on her. He may not, their relationship may not last. He might decide to break up with her, but cheat on her, he may not do it. Doesn't mean because
Yeah.
his wife means he's gonna cheat on Sheree. It's two different women. We don't know.
He
And
had a side baby. I don't know. Maybe that could be right. I don't know. I just think I would have been turned off once you have a side baby. Or I don't know enough about it. Like you said, maybe there's a lot to see on the show where my opinion would be different. Just the side baby part is just a lot to swallow.
I mean, he happened to have a side baby, but there's a lot of women, a lot of men out there that women are with now that were cheaters in the past. They just didn't have a side baby, or the side chick got pregnant and had an abortion.
That's not funny, but you got a valid point. I ain't
So
even gonna lie.
we don't know who he ain't. So, so hey, I think they look great together. They look like they have great sex together. They're a great
Yeah,
black couple. I
true.
great
And
body.
just listen. Yeah, and we only live once, so live
Yeah,
on, Sheree. Live your life, girl. YOLO.
yes. So then they took Sonya, her mom, and her dad. Her
The
brother,
photo shoot. That
huh?
was they did a photo shoot.
They did. I don't remember what the hell they did, but she's talking about the brother-in-law quit. Asked her sister, and I would quit too.
I would too, because it looked like she's running a slave, ship over there or something. I don't know.
And I think being her assistant and her brother-in-law, she may ask him to do stuff where he's like, wait a minute. Like, I think she asked him to pick her clothes on the cleaners. Do you know there's certain men with pride? Like, I'm your assistant, I'm your brother-in-law. Are you paying
Yeah.
me? But I'm not gonna go pick up your panties. I'm not gonna go get makeup. I'm not running around and get you some pads.
Yeah.
There's a line you don't cross. And it seemed like she was just asking him for everything.
And that's true. And especially when that's your husband, that's your sister, then that's your husband. It's kind of like a conflict of interest.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
so
almost
weird.
was in that position before, but it wasn't. I remember I had my cousin working on a job I got him a job and he wasn't supposed to be, no one was supposed to know he was my cousin. And then I remember the boss started talking to him crazy. Oh, I went off on that boss. They done fired my cousin. It was terrible. But I can see how, like, if somebody mistreats somebody that's close to you, it could be your husband, your cousin, whoever. But when you see somebody else mistreating them or taking advantage of them, like, I don't know if they like me. Sometimes I could not think I should have. I remember my cousin telling me, like, just mind your business, don't say nothing. But I remember in that moment, he came out his mouth slick to me, and then it just snowballed. So I can't even imagine, like, if it was my husband.
Yeah, you might not like your sister talking crazy to him. So
Yeah, nobody. So let alone my sister, but because you have an intimate relationship, so even then you more like ready to pounce because you're more closer and it shouldn't happen. But when it's somebody like on a job, that guy wasn't even a family member, but it was like, it was like you kind of like have a, loyalty that you still got to uphold to your family. So I don't know.
yeah,
I get it.
stuff. So and again, if she's asking him to do stuff that's might be somewhat personal, he may feel uncomfortable because at the end of the day, that's still your sister-in-law.
Exactly. And you need to like not, take advantage.
Yeah, so he quit. So next scene, the lady's going on a trip. Candy and Drew didn't come. I don't know what the hell's going on with Drew. She didn't come supposedly sick. Candy had other affairs to take care of.
But speaking of which, wasn't she sick? Oh no, she was taking care of family members in the first episode when they had that get together. I forgot whose get together it was.
Party. Sonya's Ross's birthday party.
Yes, and Drew's husband
Ralph
showed up, and Drew wasn't there.
Yeah, this one she not here either. I don't know what's going on.
And he said that she had a family emergency. Like, there's some red flags going on already, even though we know what's going to happen later on and they're going to both file for divorce. But why is he showing up at parties when you arrive, you telling us that she had a family emergency? Isn't a family emergency your emergency too? Why are you here?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, how the hell she got family emergency? Her family should be your family too.
Yep, red flag.
You got a family emergency.
And you ain't going to no parties, and I'm here struggling, tragedies going on around me, and you at a party?
Dancing, drinking, eating.
Mm-hmm.
So this was hilarious and funny to hear. And I was like, oh, let me talk about this. The ladies started talking about tossing salad. Eating the booty, if no one knows what that is. And Kenya mentioned she did it. I'm like, Saya was like, what? I mean, everybody was looking out like, I said,
Eating out,
what?
please. They eat a little booty. People just don't be admitting it. They eat a little. Listen, no one. I think they all lying. I'm not eating booty. Listen, I'm not sitting here eating booty. But what I'm saying is, I think they all lying. I think like they thinking about it like somebody's tooting up their behind the man, and then you just spreading cheeks and going in. No, I'm thinking like
Like
you.
expert there.
No, I'm saying that if you going down there giving a little BJ, the anus is like literally a millimeter or whatever, less than an inch, way less than an inch away. I'm just saying, I don't think it's the way y'all thinking about it. So I think they lying.
No. And no. When Kenya said she did that, I was like, what? Like, the only person I think if they were there that would admit doing that would be Candy. But it wasn't even that Kenya mentioned she did it. She said in her 20s. I said, in your 20s? Even when Sheree was like, I wasn't even thinking about that shit. Was people even doing that in their 20s? That's what Sheree said. I said, that's kind of early doing that. Booty at 20? Like, back in the day, like this generation, they're doing way more than that. But back in the day, like Kenya's what? How old is Kenya? 50?
Yeah, 52 or something now, or 50 something.
Back in the days, what was it? 20 years ago, whatever amount, 30 something years ago, in the 90s, she was eating booty.
I think people are just more comfortable with talking about it because the stories are like, eating the groceries. I mean, not stories, but the songs out eating the groceries, and it's like it's what?
In 2000s.
But it's becoming trendy now to eat booty. So I think people are more comfortable talking about it now. That was going on before. They was eating booty in the 1900s, 1950s, and now it's just that people are more comfortable and more sexual now. We got social media. It's in our face. So now they keeping it real. People are just keeping it real now. They was eating booty for centuries. Okay.
Well, I think it's different when a man is eating booty than a woman's eating booty. That's my opinion.
I think women go all out to keep these men. I think it happens more frequently than we know because the way women be forgiving these men when they cheat inside babies, this, that, they down there eating that booty. Probably right after. Probably even after you go to the bath. Listen, people be, listen.
If a man tells me to eat his booty, I'm dumping him. I'm not.
We all heard about the R. Kelly, pissing on chicks. So what I'm saying is that people pissed. Did you hear the Biggie Smalls album where he was defecating on chicks? People are doing the nastiest things, and now with social media and these porn sites and OnlyFans, people are more comfortable with doing nasty things. So eating booty is nothing. Women go all out for their man. They let them cheat. They let them have side babies. Ain't nothing wrong with eating a little booty. I wouldn't put that past these women out here that's doing whatever it takes to keep their man.
You eating booty and he's still cheating on you. So what's the point?
But they still go all out to keep. Listen, these women are doing backflips, doing all kind of things, allowing the chicks to come in the house, having polygamous relationships for men. Like, listen, eating a little booty is nothing in comparison.
Well, remember 50 Cent mentioned that Vivica A. Fox did that to him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's behind closed doors. These women are eating booty. Please, getting pissed on and everything.
Well, not this woman here. I ain't doing none of that. No, you asked me to do that out the door. You going? No.
Listen, if you going down on them, you give a little BJ. I'm sure that tongue slipped up and got in that booty hole. You just,
Trust me. Trust me. I know what I'm licking.
Okay. I don't know, girl. I'm saying that booty hole and them balls are like this, okay? So I don't know.
Next topic. Uh, so the ladies go there for dance competition, and surprisingly, Sheree wins the dance competition. I think I think Marlo should have won, but I guess because Kenya doesn't like Marlo. You know what was surprising me is that Marlo was on the trip. I thought they don't get along. What the hell is Marlo doing on the trip?
I think that's what, when I was listening to Carlos King, he said the same thing. Like, but I do think that it's a part of, like, you have to, like, she's a part of the cast. And I think the cast puts in money or whatever they do to make things happen. Even when they showed, when they were at the event in Alabama, we're going to get to that. I guess, was that that was this episode, when they were at the event, you could see like production or whoever it was, they probably initially talked to the venue and let them know, like, listen, we're gonna have cameras in here, whatever, and then they just had enough of them and kicked them out. But I think a lot of what goes on within these trips is production, paid for, it's a part of the show. So I don't think Kenya has a choice. You have to invite your nemesis, even if you don't get along with them.
I guess. So the next thing is they all leave. I guess this is the part when they all going to the charity event for Kenya and Manya to come out with the aluminum foil jumpsuits.
Yeah, Courtney lets know it's her birthday. Kenya oh no, I think when they was out to eat, was the next scene when they was out to eat,
and Courtney Kenya and Marlo go at it regarding the argument between between Drew and Marlo. You remember Marlo?
I think that was more toward the end, but I think we skipping over the part when Courtney, the new chick, was on the phone with her baby daddy, and then she put the phone and was like, "Oh, he used to work with you, and he worked in Twa before with Kenya. He worked in a movie previously with Kenya like 15, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, I think it was.
He was a good-looking man. I remember.
He was. I didn't even know that was him. I didn't know that he was
What happened?
See, you that's ageism. You being anti-age. Because
no, that has nothing to do with age. It's meaning you didn't age well. He went
he's not. You think people gonna look the same if they look when they was 20 years old?
Hello. I don't look that much different.
Listen, man, it's different. I just feel like it's different. I think this is where I would go in on Kenya, and this is where Courtney.
She didn't say nothing wrong. She was honest. He look like he went through a hard time. He's overweight. He's out of shit. You said you didn't recognize him. If I
did, because that's age. That's age. He's not gonna look the same.
It's aging badly. That's just not good aging. There's some people that don't age good.
But how did you know he was overweight? I don't even think they showed his whole body. All you saw was his face.
No, I saw in the other episode. Well, to me, he looked overweight. That's my definition. He maybe not overweight, but out of shape. Remember he went to Ralph's house? Because when they were like, "Oh, that's my cousin, Courtney, not cousin," and they brought him, I didn't know who he was.
Okay, yeah, I forgot he was in that scene. You know what? I think it
went through drugs, drinking, problems. That happens.
I do have to rewind it back to that scene because I forgot that they didn't show the pictures of him being in that singing the group Groove Theory or whatever, and they didn't show that he used to be in that movie Twa. So I didn't recognize him. So with this episode, they did actually show him. So I didn't zero in on what he was looking like in the previous episode, but I need to rewind it back so I can get a good look and know the difference between, then when he showed up at the house and see his whole physique and see if it's just age or maybe he just gained some weight and he let himself go.
He let himself go. Because you could look like that back then and now and still have the facial features and look good. I didn't recognize the man at all. I didn't even say, "Oh, he looked like somebody I knew back in the day." Like there was nothing that reminded me of that handsome chocolate man from back in the day. There was nothing that was there. He looked like he just went through hard times. It's possible. People go through hard times in life. He didn't have a career. He was struggling. He didn't have any money. We don't know if he had drug problems, alcoholism, baby mama drama. I mean, he dealt with Courtney. She looked like she's a nutcase. So who knows? But he just did not age well. Look at Candy. Candy was an escape. She still looks good.
But see, the difference is with these women and men, they don't have it as good as these celebrity women who are getting tweaks done. Candy done had tweaks done to her body. She done got breast implants. She got mommy makeovers. She
Yes,
probably getting her face pulled back, Botox, Reslin, or whatever else. With men, they just gotta age gracefully and hope to God like that, you
yes.
know.
With men, I think with us, there's more tweaking. With men, eating healthy, drink a lot of water, hit the gym. That's what that man needed to do. He's a good looking man. But like I said, he probably went through hard times. Hard
That's true.
times,
But
drugs.
Courtney still has a way where she can kind of go in on Kenya for talking about her man. Kenya had work done. She got a balloon booty. You can't be talking about my man aging and not aging good or whatever in his 30 years when you done got all kind of work done on yourself. Kenya is beautiful, yes, but there's a lot of tweaks and stuff that she has, a lot of tweaks that she has done to herself to make her, stay beautiful.
I agree with Kenya. I was happy somebody said, because I thought the same thing. Like, dang, the same guy? It's the truth. I mean, some people age better than others, even without needing tweaks.
That's true, but
And
Courtney
get tweaks. But if these people were just like us, they probably would still be recognizable. Kenya would still be, if she didn't do Botox or whatever she's doing to her face.
Yes, she is doing Botox.
Okay, she wasn't doing stuff to her face. She probably is.
She's doing stuff to her face.
She still would be recognizable. We wouldn't be like, oh my God, who's that? That's Kenya. I think she still would have been recognizable.
I don't know. When not Carlos, I was listening to what show was that he's gay? He has a Hollywood Unlocked show. Jason Lee.
Oh, Jason Lee.
Marlo was on his show 2 weeks ago. He said he ran into Kenya at some outlet or something. He was at the outlet or whatever. And He said he did not even recognize Kenya. He said her skin is terrible up close. That's what he said. And he said she didn't have no makeup on. So he was asking Marlo, how does Kenya? Marlo was being very graceful and cool. She was like, she never saw her without makeup, and she was giving Kenya her props. She was like, Kenya is beautiful. And Jason Lee, he must don't like Kenya because he was like, girl, you saw Kenya without makeup. And Marla was like, no, I didn't. I really never did. And then that's when Jason Lee was saying that he saw her at the outlet or somewhere when he was shopping. And Neiman Marcus, matter of fact, he saw her sitting on a bench waiting for somebody or whatever. And he said he didn't even recognize her, but he knew it was her. And he did not say a lot of good things about it. And I think even if you look at some of the episodes now, these episodes that are coming on, you can see her face is swollen. Like she didn't let the Botox settle in or something. She's doing something.
She doing something on her face. But again, not everybody age well. People go through hard times. So again, this is Kenya being shady, but not everybody ages well. And apparently
that's true.
This man did not age well.
I need to see. I gotta rewind and see. Was he dressed up? Did he have? Because when he was on the phone, when she put the phone, sometimes the way I be looking in the house, some people would not recognize me. The way
man, that's different. We gotta do our hair, our lashes, our makeup, and everything. If it was a woman, we probably wouldn't say. But it's a man. Well, how much could he have done? Okay, he didn't get a haircut.
That's what I'm saying. A haircut, a shape up, that makes a big difference. If you sitting at home and you don't got a shape up, and some men, when they put a cap on, they dressed up, they got the swag going, and that adds to the look. He was sitting at home on the couch, looking like he was watching TV.
With this part, with the videotaping, maybe he didn't know the FaceTime. He didn't know he was gonna be on camera.
Yeah,
the Jew's house, you knew you was gonna be on camera.
I gotta rewind it to see how terrible he looked from what you said.
I'd say he looks terrible, like oh my God. But compared to how he looked before, if I just saw him and I didn't know he was from the 90s, I'd be like, all right, he's okay looking. But in comparison from then and now, major difference. He don't look terrible. He looks just totally different from when he was younger.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind it back just to take a look to see if he was dressed up.
Do you agree? He looks totally different. Totally different. So we back and forth about the argument that Marlo and Drew had. Marlo, I agree with her with Kenya. Why are you talking about it? You wasn't there. Why are you taking Drew and saying how Marlo was aggressive and Marlo stood up and Marlo did this? You wasn't there. However, Marlo went at Kenya saying Kenya was coming for her. It was just a bad back and forth argument. I was just like, okay, Marlo was, I think, was going a little bit to the extreme, but Kenya should not even have talked about because she was in there.
Yeah, and I didn't like how like she was totally dismissive of Marlo being at the table. If you would not know that Marlo was sitting at the table, if you didn't actually see her, I would think that Marlo wasn't even there and that she's just rehashing the story for the girls of what she heard about, from what Drew told her. I wouldn't even think that the person that was actually a part of the conflict was there because the way that Kenya was just totally dismissive of Marlo being at the table. Like I would at least let Marlo tell her side or ask her questions. But Kenya was telling the girls like Marlo wasn't even sitting at the table. So I
Yeah,
just believe that Kenya was provoking Marlo, and you can't be, poking the bear. She was poking her.
I totally agree because even when Marlo stayed quiet, Kenya kept going at it.
Yeah.
Come on, Marlo's very aggressive. It gave me very high school bullying, kind of like those bullies when you're in high school and the not so popular kids were sitting there and they'll say stuff about them. So that's how I felt with that, with Kenya.
Yeah, I just think, but the way Marlo reacts, I just think like when you poke the bear, like yeah, the bear may kill you. So you can't go poking, and Marlo's that type. Like you can't go playing around in the jungle where there's tigers and stuff, poking them and stuff like that. Like Marlo's the type, like you're gonna, bring a knife, to a gunfight, and Marlo's bringing out the guns, blazing. So I just think like, Marlo does need therapy, and she does go, she goes from a 0 to 100, and that's why I think she makes good TV because Kenya knew exactly what she was doing. But Marlo does need to reel it back a little bit, gain control to let them know like what she's trying to say. Because I do believe that Marlo does have a point in some of the things that she says, but her execution is terrible. So her delivery is terrible. So we can't get what she's trying to say. But being an Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius whisperer, I know what she's trying to say. And I'm partially for Team Marlo, but she just needs to deliver it better so we can digest it and understand where she's coming from.
I agree with that. Totally agree. So now they're heading to the charity event. Kenya leaves with who does she leave? Maniera. Who else? She was Maniera and somebody else she left. And Mandi because she wanted Maniera to change her outfit. Which I agree. That was tacky and inappropriate.
I know. I thought the same thing. Like you're going to like a banquet or whatever it was. Like, why are you wearing like poom poom shorts, a loud silver, like your breast out? Like that was like, and I love that Kenya was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah, it looked like aluminum foil to me.
Cheap rainbow.
The next thing was they went in and they all said that the party was lame. It looked boring as hell too.
And I think Kenya was embarrassed. Yeah, Kenya was embarrassed. They done had her at some low budget like banquet. Like she had them like thinking it was gonna be some whole like fanfare type thing for her celebrity, and she's gonna have a whole marching band. And it was like you got kicked out. They didn't even care about you.
Hi, Alima. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I agreed with that, but I also felt bad for the charity event. Like for everybody to know it was lame. Like I don't think they mentioned which charity event, but to go and be on TV, talk about going to a charity event, and then talk about how lame it is. That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think it was embarrassing that they got kicked out. I think, and from what Carlos King said, being like he used to be like a part of the production, he was saying that when you go to these events, like they can't play music because of like, being on TV, the copyright issues and stuff. So when you go to these events, they have to speak to the managers and the promoters beforehand to get permission, because while they're there, it has to be quiet. They can't play certain type of music. And then everybody's focused on the crew and the production, and they're not focused on what's supposed to be focused on, like the charity, getting money, having people like the bar and whatever else goes on. So they saying that a lot of times like the venue gives the housewives and Bravo like 30 minutes to get a scene. And when you don't have that 30 minutes and you don't get the proper whatever scenes, they don't care. They kicking you out. Like, listen, you had enough time. Everybody's focused on y'all. Get the F out. And that's what happened.
No, I told now I saw that episode of Carlos King. I actually started watching him. I like him.
Me too.
So you're right. And now that after hearing that, I was looking at the show, I'm like, yeah, this is probably why the party was so lame. There was no music, people just standing around looking. But so the party probably could have been a good party if they weren't there. So for
exactly.
them to go, the party's lame and stuff, you guys made the party lame because they can't play music. Some of them may not want to be on camera. It's like too much pressure for that occasion.
And that's what Carlos King said. Like, a lot of the people, there's lights shining in your face. Like, if I'm going to a party and I see, like, you know, Summer House, Bravo, or whoever did, I'm not interested in, and I'm be like, what they doing here? And where's the party? Like, where's the music? Where's the drinks? The things should be flowing. We want like the sparklers, and I want to feel like I'm at a party. So they were saying, Carlos King said, like, that when production is there, it takes away from the venue getting money. So they give you a time slot to get what you got to get. And if you don't get it, that's on you. But you still got to get the F out. And that's what happened. They went over their time.
They probably tell them, come early to the party, get a couple of people that's there. They probably tell them, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. Alima said, I am so sorry that you guys are more interesting than the housewives are. The show is boring now. Thank you. Agree.
Yes. It does need to be like, you know, they need to bring more. And that's what I'm saying. And I feel like that's what Marlo is trying to say to these ladies, because she's always said that a lot of them are keeping secrets. They're not really bringing the true reality to the show. And I think that's what frustrates Marlo. And that goes back to Candy, not wanting to talk about the shooting, not wanting to talk about real things that tragedies that's going on. Like, yeah, she brought, like she said, she bring the baby's daddies on. She talk about her and Todd, but it's always like lighthearted stuff that Candy's bringing. But you don't even want to talk about the shooting. You got the guy on air with the sling on camera. You know you're supposed to be talking about the shooting or make some kind of reference. I get it. There's some legalities to it, but you can still make some kind of reference toward it. But Sheree, who never disappoints, she said they, instead of bringing biscuits, they bringing bullets at Old Lady Gang.
Yeah, you don't know if you're gonna get biscuits or bullets. Yo, I was on the floor when she said that. I had to rewind and listen to it again. I think that should be the quote of her tagline.
Absolutely. And that's what I like about what Marlo and a lot of the other ladies, like, yeah, you may not want to bring it on the show, but I'm going to drag it on the show. If you don't want to substantiate your existence, I'm gonna substantiate mine, and I'm bringing it on. We need to talk about the shooting, and I think that's what Marlo was trying to say to Drew. Like, why are you talking about the incident that happened instead of saying shooting? You don't want to bring it on. Candy don't want to bring it on, but I'm here and I'm dragging it on the show because y'all playing games.
Well, I think from a business perspective, Candy doesn't also want to bring it up because it's bad for business. She would lose a lot of customers. Look, some people are fearful of going somewhere there was shooting that's happening, someone's been killed. Especially the older crowd of it's Old Lady Gang. That the demographics of the people that go there are older. There are young people, older generation. So if you have the grannies, the old ladies, oh my God, did you shoot? You already know they're not going. They'll may do takeout, but she lost business. So here we are that maybe people kind of forgot. Not everybody heard about it. New viewers watching the show. You're going to talk, there was just shooting in her restaurant. I know I don't want to go there. And it's an employee shooting another employee.
That's true. I get
what kind of people you hiring there. You got one employee shooting another employee. First of all, you have a gun in the restaurant.
And I get it, and I get Candy's perspective and why, in her position, and why she doesn't want to bring it on the show. But if I'm Marlo, if I'm Drew, if I'm Sonya, I am dragging it on the show. They got a duty to do, and that's why I like what Marlo's trying to do. Her execution is a little over the top, but what she was trying to convey to Drew is, girl, you boring. Like, why are you talking about, oh, And then you could tell Carlos King, his reenactment of that scene was hilarious because he said the way he explained is that a lot of times the production and the executive producer of the show, of that particular show, or say that person, will go up to, like, say Kenya Drew and be like, listen, a shooting happened at Kenny's restaurant, bring it up on the scene, do it. And now lights, action, go. So it was on Drew to bring it up, but she was like so nervous, like she didn't want to bring it up. And that's why she said incident, because she was scared to bring it on the show. But like Marlo approached her about it. And again, like I said, I don't want nobody coming at me saying that, yeah, Marlo needs to be fired. That's your opinion. But my opinion is that Marlo is trying to say to Drew, fine, Candy don't want to bring it up on the show, but we have a reality to bring to the viewers. Stop playing around talking about it's an incident. Talk about the shooting that happened. Why did it happen? If Candy don't want to talk about it, fine. But I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to tell you what I saw online in the news and what happened to Craig and that got shot.
No, I agree. I didn't realize they wanted Drew to bring it up.
They said a lot of those scenes are like, it's not scripted, but they'll give them little cues. Like, listen, this is gonna be the scene. Let's talk about what happened at Candy's restaurant. Like, they'll give a particular person duty to do, and if they don't do it, I think that's why a lot of times these people eventually getting fired and stuff, because they're not doing it. They, like the way Drew was like brought it up, like you could tell she was provoked to say what she was trying, because she didn't even want to say it. Oh, let's talk about the incident. Like, she didn't want to say shooting. And then I saw an interview afterwards. She had the nerve to say, oh, well, people trying to say like I should have talked to Candy about the shooting, and I'm from Chicago. We don't say the word shooting. Girl, if you're from Chicago, it goes down in Chicago. Okay? Yeah, what you talking about? Y'all don't say the word shooting.
So what they say, incident?
That's what she was trying to say. Like, that was her excuse as to why she was so like, not wanting to bring it up. But like, again, my point is that I agree with Marlo in that instance. Why is everyone tiptoeing around the reality? Bring it on the show. And that's for them. I think also for Candy and all of them, they need to also activate Marlo, because Marlo, where's her man at? Where's she getting her money from? We need to talk about that. The woman that she sliced, whatever, bring it on the show. Activate each other. That's why y'all there.
And she's dating a new man now.
Yeah, we don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Why is no one like bringing that on? And Candy did try. She did say, let's talk about the girl that you sliced, but I still would have brought up more. It wouldn't have ended there. If Marlon want to keep going in, but we still got more scenes to go. So more episodes to go. So we'll see. Maybe it'll get more juicier.
Yeah, but I agree with Marlo. They need to bring it up to Candy.
Yeah.
So now after they kicked them out. They all went to their room. They were sitting in the lobby, the ladies, and they all felt that Kenya is doing the same thing she does on some of the other trips when she goes to her room. They go to her room, knock on her door, kick down her door, and Kenya comes out screaming and very upset because she felt, she didn't like it. She had a daughter in the room. She said she was going to call the police, and Marlo did not give a damn. Marlo proceeded to just start yelling and acting crazy outside.
That's what I'm saying. Marlo just goes way too over the top and hits below the belt and start doing things that's just obnoxious. So that's where she gets lost in, the execution of it. So I just wish that it was all of them banging and kicking on the door. It wasn't just Marlo, but then
and Sonia.
Who?
Sheree and Sonia also did it.
Yeah, but Marlo got the brunt of it, because once Kenya came out and said her daughter is sleeping, that's when Marlo should have backed down. Yes, but again,
yes.
And she didn't. She was the only one that kept it going when they all, like you said, the other two did also kick on the door, but Marlo kept it going and didn't back down once she knew Kenya's daughter was in the room. She should have not, if she would have just kept her cool and said, oh, okay, your daughter's in the room. Okay, but this is a bullshit trip. Why you got us out here looking stupid? You need to entertain us. You're a host. I would have said something like that. Like, I get it. Okay, your daughter's here. We'll talk about this in the morning. But she didn't.
Yeah, I think that's when she messed up. Yeah, kicking her door, whatever, before that. But once you say my kid is in there, she should stop, because the kid could be scared. It's a little girl. You
Absolutely.
you don't know if it's the police. It's noisy. She could have been sleeping. That could have scared anybody. You in your room and you're not expecting to hear anything. All of a sudden, you just hear a bunch of banging on your door. Like you don't know what the hell's going on out there.
Absolutely. As an adult, I would be scared. So I can't even imagine a little child like, hearing that. So that was just over the top. Marlo, somebody needs to talk to her. I think she needs therapy. There's something about Kenya that irritates her more so. And like I said, Kenya can be, she can provoke you, but I just think it's something more with Marlo that she needs help with, like how to channel her anger. Like with Portia.
I think she really wants to be Kenya's friend and is upset when Kenya doesn't let her in. I think she really wants to be Kenya's friend.
Me too. I think she's looking for validation from Kenya. Like I think, and she said that on Jason Lee's show. She said before, she admitted like, but she's not saying now. She was like before, she was Miss USA. She was like a woman that she looked up to growing up, and she was
Oh,
like,
what the? Wow.
yeah. And then she said that it did hurt her. Like she felt like Kenya and some of the other ladies didn't accept her, and they won't accept her ever being good enough to have a peach. And even now that she has a peach, they still look down on her. But she was saying that she did used to look up to Kenya, and when she felt like she wasn't accepted by her, she said it did hurt her feelings. So yeah, so I think the way she was saying before and years ago when she was a friend of the show, but I think that still goes into now. The way she was saying she felt before, she still feels that way today.
Still feel that I say she looked at Kenya as that, that idol, I guess, or someone to look up to, or a fan, and then thinking, oh, maybe we could be friends, and then now she's like, girl. So that was the end of that. And we have a question. Alima said, rumors have it that the show is going to be recast. Do you agree? We need Nene, Portia, Cynthia, and Kim? All of them minus Cynthia. We need Portia.
Yeah.
We need her comedic comments. Nene, we need a little bit of Nene there. And Kim, I just want to know what the hell's going on with her. I want to see Kim's downfall.
But I do think. Oh, you want to see Kim's, how she's going to pick herself?
Now she's humble. She needs to be humble. So I want to see that humble Kim, not the dating Big Papa and having all this fake, life and all this stuff. So I want to see the humble Kim living in an apartment, trying to figure things out because now her core are getting a divorce. That's the Kim. That is the storyline. All them damn kids going through a nasty divorce. That is the best interesting storyline there.
I do think that, but I think with Kim's personality, I just don't think we'll ever get the real her, the real authentic lifestyle that she's going to have to live and have to get out of or get over, like the hurt or whatever, the divorce, whatever caused divorce. I just think she lies so much about her reality. Like she lies about where she gets her money, who she's sleeping with, having cancer. Like I just feel like she lies. So I just don't think I don't know if I want her unless she's more vulnerable, and show us the authentic her. And as far as Cynthia, I would like to see how she overcomes her divorce.
Too boring.
How, is she in a dating scene?
Nobody cares.
I want to know what happened with her and Mike. I want to see if we're going to get something out of her now.
No. I don't want Cynthia back at all.
Portia, I definitely want some Portia
on.
See
that fabulous life with her in the African.
Absolutely. I want to see her. I think she's going to be a whole new her because she's in love. I think she's really genuinely in love. I think it's more than just his money that probably added to it. And, sometimes you got more money that will get me to see the real you. Unfortunately, that's how, some looks, some people. But anyway, as far as Nene, absolutely. Nene started that show. Like she's like the most iconic housewife.
Yeah, no, definitely Nene. She's dating. She's also dating an African. What's happening with her son who had issues, how she lived without Greg. I definitely wanted to see that. I definitely want to see that.
And I want to add Phaedra. I know Phaedra's on Married to Medicine. But I would like to see her on Atlanta Housewives in the mix with these ladies. I don't know about Married to Medicine ladies and what the
freaking frack with her and Portia teaming together. And I think her and Nene's doing well. See what happens with her and Candy. Yeah, they need to bring some of those old people back because now the thing is, these people actually have storylines.
Yeah.
And they're not on the show. Like Nene's dating. How's going for a restaurant? How's her relationship with son? She's a grandmother now. We have Portia's fabulous life with the African. Is she trying to get another kid? And Kim, she needs to be transparent. Like, don't rent a house for the season. Act like you living in a bigger, better mansion. Or
That's what I'm saying. She always lived like she was always so fake to me. That's why I don't think I want her on the show, because she's never gonna show us the real her. She's gonna continue to like lie about her whole lifestyle and her pain or whatever. She's gonna continue to cover it up.
But that's where the producers had to come. Like, we need to see the real lifestyle. And for people to point out, girl, we know that house is rented. You know, this is where we need the Marlos, the Kenyas, the D's
to activate her.
Like, please, girl, we know that's a lease car. Like, we need people to bring it out to basically let the viewers know this is all a front. So I think it would be good for TV, I think. And supposedly she's coming back next season.
Who?
Kim.
Oh yeah, probably. I'm not interested in just seeing Kim. I need the whole like and Lima said, Portia, Cynthia. I need the dynamics of Nene in the mix. Like we need this, like just Kim alone going in the mix with them.
We need them. Take out Cynthia, I need Nene, Portia, Kim. Let's keep Marlo. Let's keep Kenya. Candy, I don't know. She needs to go too.
Yeah. And I think they are gonna recast. They're gonna have to do something like with this. I think it's like the same thing like how Jersey Housewives is. It's like enough is enough. Like you've kind of like overstayed the subject line. It's just dragging on. Like y'all not getting along at this point. Like they need to do something. Unfortunately, I don't think Marlo's gonna be. I think they're gonna take her peach away. I think she's gonna be one of the people on the chopping block.
I think after a while, the storylines are repetitive and it's just dragging. It's kind of like nobody wants to see the same thing about your life. Okay, we know. Like, Kenya, when are you going to get divorced? You're still not waiting for nobody care. Like, I'm at a point, like, I don't care. Like,
and I think she is.
Sure, Aeon. I'm still curious to find out about what's going on for her, Martell.
Yeah, and I think with Kenya, she's trying to bring up this white guy that she's dating, but is she really dating him? From what I heard on his page, he never even mentioned her. Like you never even on his side, he's like never even made reference to Kenya. From what everybody in the comment section in the Housewives groups talk about, they say he don't make no kind of mention to Kenya. So I think she might be just trying to substantiate her existence by making it seem like she's dating. She's she got a story. So I don't know. Like you said, they need to do something got to be done, revamping, mixing up the cast.
I agree. New cast, new season. They need to all go and start fresh.
Yes, agree.
And that was it for this episode of Atlanta Housewives. Stay tuned for the next video. But I don't think it's going to be any better than this one. Let's wait and see what happens tonight.
But we'll make it better without discussions.
Thanks, Elena. Yes, we will. But the show,
yes. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching, the silent watchers and everyone that commented. And don't forget to tune in next time. We are back consistently. We took a little break because we was on vacation and things like that. But we're back to discuss and chit chat and talk about all those good things within the shows.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Smooches.